welcome back. We're gonna actually do some work on the hard body today. My name is Kale. Welcome to Garage Treads. So this week we are going to, ooh, that was way too close, my bad. We're gonna work on this monstrosity of a mess. We are going to work on getting the blower box out. We're gonna get all the air conditioner stuff, the AC stuff's been drained. Well, I say it's been drained. There was nothing in it when I got it. We're gonna drain the heater core. We're gonna pull all the vents. We're gonna pull the wiring out. We're gonna get this thing ready to go to get everything lined up so that we can cut what we need to get cut out. So I'm gonna get the cameras set up on the clamp so that we can you guys can kind of watch what's going on, and I'll pipe in periodically.
Here we go.
So I did it again. It's gonna happen. I can't even stop at this point saying all right. So harness is out. Well, kinda. As you can see, it's right there. I gotta have to get it. I'm probably gonna have to unhook everything on the engine and pull it through. The fuse boxes and a few other of these connectors look like they're gonna be way too big to fit through that hole. So yeah, I am going to continue working on the interior. We're gonna get the, like I said, we're gonna get the box for the evaporator. We're gonna get the heater core out. I got the radiator somewhat open up front, draining out. Hopefully we'll have a cleaned out interior by the end of this video. Man, this is interesting. Done a lot of things with hard bodies. I've never pulled the harness out completely. This is definitely a first. Let's see if I can pull a piece at a time out. I see that there's several different pieces. Let's see. That one's the long one. What I'm gonna have to do is go piece by piece. This is all in the way. I'll have to get it out of the way. Alright, so that's the main harness that runs to the, yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Alright, so I am going to fight with this for a minute, and then I'll bring you guys back and let you see what's going on. So I think I figured it out. I went back up, started messing with the actual harness that goes to your injectors, your map sensor. There we go. All your sensors that's on the front of your engine. That's look like a lot of what was. That's what that is. I'm gonna go up, push this other one in, get these gloves off that are ripping on me. So what I'm gonna have to do, I gotta take all these relays out to get the relay box through. So that's what I'm working on right now. You'll see it come through. All right, so I got the relays out. As you can tell, the only thing left is this part right here that runs up for the headlights, the horn, and there we go. The whole harness is out. So as you can tell, I've got it set back up where we can walk, or you guys can see me pull this part out. I've already got this loose. I've got it unhooked inside. I think I've got one bolt on the bottom I need to get out. I've got to get there's 1, 2, I think 3 or 4 that hold the heater core on. I can't remember. And I got to undo the lines. I got to undo, I think I'm going to undo here, so that way I can undo all my all my lines for my heater and my AC, so that way we can get that out of the way. Should be able to pull that out and we'll have everything out. Then I just pull this pad out that runs across there. I'll need to pull the pedals, and I'm not sure on the steering column yet. I think I can keep it there. I'll figure that one out as I go. Okay, so I got back in. I got the evap out, working on getting all these lines out. So I got to thinking about it on this side. I think it, or right here, since it's easier to get to, I'm gonna go ahead and just take this off here. You got a little clip that sits up here. It's gonna be probably hard to see on the video. It's right here. It just sits in like this, snaps in. When you pop that off, be careful, it goes flying. I just found that out the hard way. And then pop that off, and voila, we have that much of it out. We got a bolt here, you got a bolt here, you got to undo your 2 lines outside for your heater core, and then you got 2 on the, or 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom on the other side. I'll show you that here. So this last line that is on here goes in here just like that. You can see that little spot right there. It's hard to see, I know. Let me see if I can point down a little better. There we go. It's snapped up in there. You got another one of those little lines right here, or clips that you undo. I'm just going to take and push that back on there in order to, kids walking out while you're doing stuff. And then, so now, before I pull everything else out, I am going to make sure that the coolant is empty and ready to go so I can pull this heater core. What happened? Anyways, the old, there we go, hose clamps are, I don't like these things, man. I don't know, I guess they were cheap when Nissan did it. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they do wonders for, as this one doesn't want to come off. That loose. Got the bottom one loose. I'll clamp it once I get this top one off. So what I'm going to take take my needle nose right here. Man, why is just want to twist it to get it to try to break loose. There we go. And of course I bent it. That's great. Well, that sucks. These are real notorious for bending, tweaking anytime you take these hose clamps off. Last one I did, I was fortunate enough to not have any issues, but this time's a different situation. Bottom one, while it is loose, clamp that one just to make sure that the coolant doesn't get a wild hair to spill everywhere. And there we go. Those are done. I've got the, I'll get this off here, take you guys for a little ride. I don't know if you can see down there. We got that done. So like I was saying, we're gonna pull this out. Here's the controls for the HVAC. Stick them up there for right now before we go add it to the rest of our collection of stuff. Like I was saying earlier, you got a 10 millimeter down here on this bottom side. I've already got it. And you got a 10 millimeter right here. It holds that little vent in, but in that same aspect, it does stop this from coming out. And boom, there we go. Heater core's out. So I'm going to go through and pull this liner down, and you guys can enjoy the view. All right, so as you can see, I started pulling that stuff off across the top. I'll just take this. I think these little, I don't know, something that holds them in there, but it works. My idiot self cut part of it over here when I was cutting this giant hole out at one point. So what it looks like, let's put that off. You can get my light, see what I gotta do. Probably need to, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull the emergency brake, the pedal, and the pedals out. It looks like I'll be able to pull all that stuff out at that point. All right, so like I was saying, I was gonna get everything out. So, trying to be a man of my word. We got it out. We had the sound deadening. We got the pedals out. When you're pulling the pedals out, you gotta go outside. I'll show you here in just a second. There's these two, there's two 12 millimeters that are outside. I'll show you where the bolts are at. I didn't know that's what it was for. They go right here, just right below your throttle cable. I learned something new today. I figure I was going to learn a lot of new stuff, being that I'm ripping this thing completely apart. So we've got everything out. I'm probably going to end up pulling this out, the steering wheel, or the steering assembly, whatever the hell this thing's called. I can't think of it, sorry. But with that being said, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to take that speaker harness and I'll push it inside the door just to get it out of the way so I can still close the door. I mean, other than that, right now, interior's ready to go for well, minus marking it out and figuring out what all I got to get done internally. But that being said, I did it again. Next thing up on the chopping block, aside from that one piece of wire, we're gonna get this monstrosity cleared out, cleaned up, and I went to sit down and my stool wasn't there. We're gonna get this side cut We're gonna get it welded up. We're gonna get everything going on this side, so that way I can get this thing on the ground, test everything out, make sure it's good, weld it up, call it a day. Well, that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time.